Welcome again to Campbell Explorers. Thanks for joining me today. A couple of months ago, I hiked Woodstock Equestrian Park in Maryland. I've driven by this park hundreds, thousands, millions of times, but I knew nothing about it. By the way, that's not where I am now. This is Blockhouse Point. Now, I knew the park had something to do with horses. I knew there were trails there. That was pretty much it. So the entire experience was completely new to me. The park is kind of split into two. This first video just covers one side of the park. A future video will have the other side. Check it out. Yeah, these are good, these are clean. And somebody left some wipes. So all that snow we got was about 2 weeks ago. And I kind of waited a bit for it to melt, but it looks like a lot of this trail is going to have a lot of this snow. This should be fun. And this is where we're going to start. I'm really excited. It's about 40 degrees right now. I wanted to come out about 2 hours ago, but it was only 25, so I just had to wait for a bit. All right, not too far along the Two Bridge Trail. It splits up. I'm going to stay on this for now, though. All right, the trail splits again, and there's an unmarked sign. I do want to check out this other path. I don't really think it goes anywhere, but let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's just kind of a, I don't know, maybe a spot to turn horses around. This is an equestrian park, so people bring their horses here, and already I've seen signs of that. So be careful if you're running here, walking here, anything. There's also several of these little steps all on the trail. I assume that's to mount and dismount the horse along the trail, I guess. I don't know. So is this the end of the Two Bridge Trail? And now I'm transitioning to the Greenberg Challenge Trail? I have no idea. Okay, so that looks like a wolf. As soon as I said it, I'm like, that is not true. Or a coyote, but the leg is from a deer. You know, that's really not too surprising. I mean, animals live out here too, right? I have seen a lot of paw prints all on the trail in the snow and the mud, but I do know people walk their dogs out here as well, so if you see these, don't be immediately alarmed. But if you do hike or jog out here, use some caution. Place for horses to hop in and out, I mean, I guess. So far, the Greenberg Challenge Trail has almost been just one straight line. It does curve a little bit, and there is a slight elevation change. Might be good for joggers. All right, I'm still on the challenge loop. There's a detour onto the stone barn loop. I'm gonna check that out. Not useful at all. Okay, I think we're at the actual loop. I think I'm gonna go to the right, and hopefully with some luck, I'm gonna wind up coming from that way. Also, you can see in the distance there, the Dickerson Power Plant. I walked by that in my White's Ferry Part 2 video, so if you haven't checked that out, check it out. So far on the Stone Loop Trail, there's not a whole lot to see. It's basically a big empty field. Sugarloaf Mountain off in the distance there. A lot of times when I go hiking, especially if it's somewhere I haven't been before, it's very common to wonder if you've gotten totally off the trail and if you are just in the wrong place. And that is kind of how I feel right now. I'm coming up on a road. There's a farm over there. It's too late to turn back now. Okay, stone house right over there. There is nothing stopping me from just walking across the field toward it, but that's no fun. Gotta stay on the trail. The trail does branch off here, but that looks like private property, so don't do that. You do eventually come to an actual road, but this one I was expecting. I'm gonna take a left here. All right, so eventually you're gonna come to this tiny little shortcut, or you can keep walking around these trees. I'm taking the shortcut. Here we are, the Seneca Stone Barn. All right, gonna continue on and find a little shortcut and a small pool. Snow's melting. I started walking that way, then I realized I think the actual trail is this one right here. That's the way I'm gonna go. There is a smaller trail that goes off to the right here. It doesn't take me back to where this loop started. Okay, now we're back on what I would call a normal hiking trail. Well, I spoke too soon because that was about 100 yards. Okay, I'm coming to the end of the loop. Thoughts in 1 second. Here are my thoughts on the Stone Barn Loop. Don't go the way that I went. I went counterclockwise, you wanna go clockwise. That's that way. So walking the perimeter counterclockwise, it was about 1.5 miles or so to get to the stone house. If you go the other way, it's about 3/4 of a mile. I imagine you can also just cut straight across the field and get there even faster. I'm going to continue along the Greenberg Challenge Loop right now. Okay, we're gonna go check out some loops. I think that we're gonna be coming back this way. So far, this just looks like a straight track for growing something or running horses around. But I think maybe at the end I'll come out that way. Let's see. There's this house off in the background there. There's no fence right here, but I'm thinking this is private property right here. So I'm just gonna keep going here and stay on this side of the tree line. Okay, quick sanity check. I'm gonna go this way, but I think it's just gonna loop me around all along this tree line and head me down that trail right there. And that is the other side of that trail I called out maybe 15 minutes ago. But I think maybe at the end I'll come out that way. Again, these aren't really trails. They're more like stick to the tree line, walk around the field. I think it's a lot more obvious in the summertime and fall when there's actually corn out here. The trail branches off to the left right here. And this looks like just one long loop around what is normally a cornfield, and you come out right here. I'm gonna skip that one. And here we are.
I think maybe at the end I'll come out that way.
We are at another open field where corn is planted, but I think we're also at the home stretch. Let's see if anything pops out at us. I mean, like fun, not coyotes. Here's a neat little side trail, see where it goes. I walked through like a web or something. Something got right in my mouth. That happens a lot when you're hiking. So it descends down into this little creek and looks like it continues up across the other side. It's still snowy and muddy out here, so I'm not too keen to try this. I really love to explore, and that is the name of the channel. But you also really need to use common sense when you're out hiking, especially alone. Little path of the woods, we should be back on that first trail we started on in the trailhead. In the spring or after heavy rain might be a little creek going through here. And we're back, full loop. Okay, the parking lot is that way, but we can't leave yet because we have one more trail to hit today, and that is the Monocacy Loop. Okay, left or right? I'm gonna go left. Very helpful sign because if you keep going straight, that's the road. Lots and lots and lots of crunchy snow. Okay, so you're gonna come to this fence and that's where you're gonna take another right. If you're not sure, another sign. And that is the end of this video at Woodstock Equestrian Park. I only checked out half the trails. There's more on the other side of the road a bit further up. Who do I think this trail is designed for? Obviously, people with horses. That's a given. I think it might be a good place to bring a dog. I saw lots of dog paw prints, so people definitely do that. It is not a bad place to go hiking, just don't expect traditional outdoor woodsy trails. And if you're the kind of person that does like to go jogging outside, this might be okay, but there's also a lot of places where the ground is uneven, so you gotta be very, very careful. You can probably bring kids here, but as we saw, there's animal carcasses along the way, and that's not something everybody wants to see. I do think it's definitely worth a trip to check out the stone house. Just make sure you go to the left instead of the right, or walk straight through the field. At the end of the day, this hike is all about what you want to do, so come check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments.